to talk about we're here to talk about the e-store benefit that Physio First has put in place as a one of the free member benefits. Before I get started, Donna or Jackie, is there anything you need me to do or wait for? No. Okay, Donna, I saw the shaking of the head. So let me do this. I'm going to turn off my camera. You can see I'm not an avatar because I would have made myself better looking. So I'm going to just turn this off because I'll be looking at the multiple screens here as we go. And then let me share my screen. Okay, I believe I am sharing my screen now. Donna, are you able to see the screen? You are not. Okay, let me do it again. There we go.
All good now, Patrick.
Very good. Let me try to hide this floating control. Okay, great. Let's get started. I know all of you are extremely busy. Thank you for taking the time today to learn a little bit more about this e-store benefit for your practice and for your patients. Along the way, if there are any questions or you need to put anything into the chat, Jackie and Donna will monitor that. And they'll interrupt me as needed and we'll answer those questions. As well, for anybody on the line, if you have any questions, do feel free to jump right in and stop me because I'll just keep going. We have an hour scheduled today. My plan is to try to cover all of the content in 30 minutes so that we've got as much time as possible for questions. The other thing to keep in mind is that we can hold similar calls for you at any point in time individually if you need help making sure that you optimize the e-store benefit. We're happy to do that. So the starting point for your entry into learning more about this or using this is always best to start with the Physio First homepage or the website. And we do have a really varied audience. We have folks who haven't set up a store yet or even registered, so we will cover that. We have folks who have recently set up their store but haven't used it yet. And then we have some experienced folks as well. So we will cover all of the bases here, but we'll do so fairly quickly. All right, so the first place we start is by going to the Physio First homepage, something that for most of you should look pretty familiar. I believe I am logged in. I am. So I have logged in as a member. The place to start is on this benefits tab. And if you go to your online e-store, you will see the landing page for the e-store benefit. And there's a couple of things that we're going to talk through today, but we're going to start with this second sign up for your e-store section here where the sign up button is. And walk through that. Just a couple of things very briefly about this whole concept. So this is a free member benefit for any Physio First member. We have created a standard kind of bespoke online e-commerce capability that you can access and render in front of your patients to provide them with any equipment or supplies or items that are part of their care plan. The thought is that historically, it would be more common to tell someone, oh, you should get a stretch band or a foam roller or a balance pad, whatever the case may be, and give them um, uh, an Amazon link or connect them some way. But however they ended up purchasing that product, they didn't do it through your practice. The intent here is that in the course of a care plan, if equipment is needed, that you can recommend that to your patient directly. And they can purchase that, and any purchases that they make on your e-store generate a commission for you. Generally, the commissions are in the 10 to 15% range. It depends on the product. Physio First and some of the board members have done an exhaustive job of making sure that the prices are in line with market prices and things of that nature. And the other thing to keep in mind is that through the course of using your e-store, you have a lot of flexibility. You can incorporate it into your practice website if you want. And the other thing that's really important to highlight is there is no member data, I'm sorry, patient data that is entered into the system. So as your patients use your e-store, the only information that would be collected would be an email address. And that's just so that they can get the recommendation or the link to your store. But there's no patient data that is contained in the platform. So we don't have to worry about some of the privacy issues there. So for those of you that haven't signed up yet, here's the place to start. You just click sign up. Couldn't be easier. That's going to take you directly to an enrollment form. And this is very straightforward information. The goal is to make it simple to sign up. So there's, you put in your e-store name, you put in your business address, referral code, if there was one. In most cases, there wouldn't be. A couple of things to highlight here. There is a button to click for allow ship to store. And when we talk about store, in this case, it's essentially your practice. So if, for example, you believe that during the course of having your store, you may recommend a product, let's say it's a knee brace to a patient, but you want to have that knee brace shipped to your clinic, which would be the address that you're putting in up above. If you click this allow to ship to store, one of the things that you can do or the patient can do is have the item shipped to you at your practice. And let's say it's that knee brace, and then you can do the fitment with the patient. If that's a better option than having it sent to them at their home directly. So in most cases, you'll want to allow this. It just gives you the option. If you don't select it here, you can always invoke that later on as well once you have your store. Most members are not VAT registered. If you happen to be, you just click this VAT box, and then it'll open up a place to put in that information. Then your contact information, some enhanced security information. This is just where you put in a mobile phone or anything like that. For instances, when we do put in a secondary or multi-factor authentication, then we have that information. The default is set to not require that today, but there are times where we will invoke that. So that's where this information is used. And then there's a terms and conditions. You simply click that box and you'll hit submit. There's some instructions here at the bottom that says that you'll receive emails. So once you start, you submit your store information, you will get emails that direct you where to go. It'll provide you with your credentials and a temporary password. And then the first time you log in, you'll have an opportunity. You'll be prompted to create a password. That's all you need to do. And then you'll have full access to both your store and then your administration portal, which we call Connect. And we'll get into all of that. So I'll pause here. Jackie, anything in the way of chat questions? Okay, great. All right, so that's how you sign up. It's very simple. I'll close that out and I will start a new, it looks like somebody just signed up. So here's an example without getting into it directly, and I get a bunch of these, but you will get an email that says your new store is ready to be deployed, and it gives you your store number. And then it gives you this login instructions and user guide. So those would be the two important emails. There's a third email that essentially allows us to verify that your email is legitimate. So it's an Amazon Web Services email with a huge link. You just click it to say, yes, I'm a real person. That's just to avoid robots and all the things that are out there in the world of the internet. So you'll get these emails. If I go to a store now, and I'm just going to jump real quickly, I'm going to type in Claire, because this is our sample store, test store. So you'll see this is the patient-facing store. And up at the top here, I've highlighted the URL or the web address. And the thing that's important to keep in mind is that this is a public URL. So anybody who has this URL can come to this store. The unique identifier is this 1018. So Claire, who signed up, was given a unique URL for her store, and this 1018 is what dictates that. If I put in, and I'll just put in another store address as an example of somebody who has created a store. This one is for Ashby and Greystone Physiotherapy. So they've already set all of their stuff up, and you'll see all the stores look the same. I'll go back to Claire 10-8. Let me there. Okay, so you'll see that this templated store is identical. What will be different is your store name, your logo, and information about your practice. So this URL is an important piece. It's what you would want to bookmark on your system, and this is the URL that you would give to your patients. Or if you want to link it to your website, you simply, with your internet services provider and your website maintenance software, you could forward people to your store, and this is the address that you would use. So I know a lot of the members do incorporate the ability to buy things online on their website. So you simply forward them to this address. So a couple of things about just the standard layout of the store. As I mentioned, you'll have the opportunity to put in your own logo and your store name. This Physio First logo is always on the store. That's just to show that it's kind of provided by Physio First. We have a top navigation here with home, which brings you to this page. There's a shop button. When you hit shop, it's going to take you to all of the categories that someone can shop in. If we hit gym balls and rollers, it would take them to the gym balls and rollers part of the site. You can see that there's lots of products. If I happen to just pick these gym balls as an example, you would see that the next piece is it's going to give more details about the item. You'll notice that it shows the price. The price is always shown including the VAT. So when people are shopping, they know the exact total that they're going to have outside of delivery charges. And if they want to add it to their cart, they can simply add it to their cart. It'll say that you did it successfully. And then there's a checkout button, which is a pretty common type of situation that anybody who buys stuff online would be used to. If they click that, it's going to show them what's in their cart, so they can verify it, what the price is, and then they generally will check out with this guest checkout. So your patients do not need to log into anything to buy items from your store. They can always check out as a guest and input their information. If they did hit guest checkout, it's going to simply take them to now give me your shipping address. After they do that, it'll take them to their delivery options for the product, which they can either confirm or update. They'll get a review order screen, and then they'll get the payment screen where they input their credit card and complete the order. If in the process of doing this, they want to go back, they can always hit continue shopping, and it'll simply take them back to the store. The other, outside of shop, there's an about section. This is content that you can put into the platform. So you can put information about your practice and so forth here. A typical about us kind of information. There's also a contact form. So for your patients, if they happen to have a question, they can just put their name, email, and input their question here. When they send that, it will come to the platform, which is administered by Physio First. And that customer care notification, we will get that. Donna, Jackie, or myself, we will respond to that. If it's from one of your customers, we'll know which practice, and we can forward that to you. And so you'll be aware of any comments or questions that come from members. There is a language button here. If for some reason somebody needs to change the language of the platform, they just have to click which language. And then these last few buttons, there is the ability, if I'm a patient and for some reason I feel like I want to set up an account on the practice's e-store, I can do that. If it'll just tell me to give my name and email and a phone number. And then they'll get an email with login information and stuff like that. If they do that, then they can come to this login button and log in. The only reason that someone would do that is if they buy things regularly from your website, which is atypical, right? Most of these are care plan specific. And so, once you have an exercise ball, you're not buying 10 more. So the benefit of logging in is it simplifies the checkout process a little bit. It'll remember your address. It'll have a history of your orders, things like that. But I would say 99 times out of 100, folks are not signing up. So that's an important piece. I think a lot of patients, a lot of people, right, get tired of having to log into all these various websites that you're not going to use a lot. So that's why it's optional. Jackie, questions?
Yeah, we've got a question, Patrick. I set mine up a while ago. The only link I have to it seems to be the back end of it where I set it up. How do I find the URL to share with patients?
Sure. So the URL would have been sent in this, your new Physio First e-store is ready. So if that took place a long time ago, we can always provide you with that information through our back-end admin. And I'm happy to do that. If Jackie, if they just want to give first and last name, we can probably do that real quick.
Okay. I've got Catherine Clark.
Okay, great. I'm going to log into my admin backend and we'll just show you that uh, this stuff is fairly easy to
Yeah.
do.
Catherine's found it now in the email, Patrick.
Okay, great. There's this entire back end that Donna and Jackie and I have, and at any point we can manage the entities and look at who has signed up and stores and vendors. And so if at any point you have any questions or need us to do anything, we always have that back end admin capability. So I'll log out of that. Just a few other things then. Looking at this store template, this is something that as a member, you cannot change. It is how we've designed the site. This has been done with input from members. So we definitely can move things around at an admin level, but they're not store specific. So everyone's store is going to look the same. These pod images in the middle are simple ways instead of going to shop and going through the menu. If you want to just go to taping and strapping, you can click on that pod image and it'll take you to all of the products that are tape and strapping. And then within this, there's KT tape, there's zinc oxide, and other type of cohesive tapes. So these are just more specific categories. If somebody wanted to just click to the KT tape, it'll take them to those types of products.
And Patrick, we've got a question. Are the products standard or do physios have to choose what they want to sell?
No, great question. Physio First has entered into relationships with a handful of vendors. There's several thousand products on the website, and there's nothing that you need to do. Everyone gets all of the products, and Physio First manages all of the vendor relationships. So as a physio, the only thing that you're going to experience through using the stores is that you should get on a bi-weekly basis commission payments deposited into the bank account information that you provide when you sign up and set up your store. Physio First pays all the vendors, deals with all of the shipping and delivery issues, and manages the entire product catalog. So all of these products are available to you and all of your patients. And we believe it's a pretty exhaustive set of products. Again, we didn't do this without input. The Physio First board members and the Physio First team were instrumental in making sure we had the kind of products that people are going to be using on a pretty regular basis. All right, just the last few things on the stores. At the bottom, there is footer information. There's another shop button, contact, and home. Those are the same. You'll notice that if somebody needed to log in, there's some information about return policies. If somebody needs to return an item, that is nothing that you will have to do as a member. That's all handled by Physio First. Somebody simply clicks this return button to fill out a return authorization. When we get that, then direct contact is made with the patient to make sure that everything is taken care of. There's information about security and privacy, and then there's also information about shipping in general, and it kind of talks about the shipping rates and so forth. We have multiple vendors, so depending on what products are recommended or products that they buy, based upon the negotiated terms with each vendor, those are the things that will show up when someone's doing their checkout. So before anybody buys anything, just like on any e-commerce website, they'll know exactly what their credit card charge would be.
Patrick, if you could just hold on that screen there, we have a question. As most patients will spend less than £75, what is the standard postage and packaging charge? Patients with Amazon Prime accounts don't pay for postage and packaging.
Yes, so we have that listed on this part of the site, so you can always refer to it. The if it is an order over 75 with a particular vendor selection, shipping will generally be free. To your point, that would be a large order in a lot of cases, and so the minimum is $329. It can go up as high as $838. I would say in general, it's about 4 to 5 pounds.
And there's also another question, Patrick. Is the commission included in the cost of the products? Have the prices been raised compared to some off-the-shelf products?
Great question. The answer to that is no. Physio First is a member driven association, and as a result of that, has constructed the financials, the economics of all of the product pricing to generate as much commission as possible. So setting the prices first at a market level. Second, when calculating the profitability, Physio First has essentially reduced their portion of that to the bare minimum to simply cover kind of administrative costs. And as much of the profit as can be shared through commissions is what is shared in those deposits that will be made to your account. All right. Any other questions, Jackie?
No, that's it. Great. Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, great. So if I go back home now, again, this URL is kind of the place where we would want you to start in terms of your store. And one of the things that we did based upon member feedback is to say, well, this is great. This is a public facing store. Once it's all set up, there's nothing I need to do. People can buy stuff and I don't have to worry about delivery, paying the vendors, anything like that. Physio First does all of that on my behalf. And all I should do is await a commission. There are things though that where you're going to want to administer your store. And so there's an application called Connect, and you can see here in the footer where my cursor is, there's the ability to go to Connect Administration. And so as a store owner, when you click on Connect Admin, it's going to take you to a login page. And I've got my information saved in there. And if I log in, this is going to take me to the Connect dashboard for my store. And so this is where you would do any of your real work associated with your store. And we'll go through this real quickly so that we can cover off on any questions that come up. When you first open your Connect, it'll land on this dashboard page where it'll just show you the revenue, the profit, how many orders, things of that nature. It's got some information here with past order volume. It's got information about recommendations that you've made and so forth. So this is just a dashboard, and you can select the frequency or the time period. So if we go up here to this hamburger in the upper left hand, the menu, you'll see that there's a number of options available to you. Please don't be intimidated by this. A regular user's going to use just a few of these on a kind of consistent basis. When you first sign up, you're going to get this eStore setup. So that was this first menu item here, eStore setup. And this is where it's going to ask you to load your practice image, to put in your company's, your store information. Maybe I'll go to the Claire store so that it's consistent with what we've been talking about. Oh, nice job. Hang on, let me go back here real quick. $10.18. There we go. So this is the logo that you'll recall. It was called Claire's Store. You'll be prompted to fill out an About Us. This is where you can put in all of your information. You can cut and paste from your website or whatever the case may be. You can review and update your store information. Oops. And this is the information that you would have put in when you signed up. So store name, address. You have the ability to set up an email if when a new order comes in, you want to get an email so you're aware that somebody bought something on your site. You would just click this notify on new order and provide an email address. Here's where you could click the ship to store if you didn't when you logged in, additional contact information, and so forth. And then the final piece here is bank account information. You'll notice that I can't access that. We do not have access to your bank account information. Jackie, Donna, and I can't see that. We can tell you to go here. With your credentials as a store owner, it would essentially open up a dialog box that shows bank name, account information, routing information, and you save that. And again, the only reason that we collect that information is to make deposits into your account. So that's how you set up your store. So when you first get your store.
We've got a question, Patrick. What do we put for federal ID?
You can, it's going to prompt that. To the degree you don't have one, you can just put in 9 ones. You'll see that's what we did in the Claire store. That's there because there's lots of different taxing authorities. And so depending on the location, we sometimes need to collect that information. That won't be necessary for any of you guys to put in. Good question. All right, so just real quickly then, the other items on this navigation screen, there's the ability to make recommendations. This is where you'll spend most of your time, and you can recommend products. You can see recommendations that you've made before, how many have been converted, meaning someone bought something. You can see your history, and there's a how to use function that explains how to do this. Recommendations is kind of the differentiator between this platform. It's how you can send a direct recommendation to a patient in a private manner, an encrypted manner, so that they can easily purchase products. There's a message feature where you can say no thanks, send messages to someone if you want. There's this dashboard that we talked about. There's a listing of all of the products. So if you ever wanted to see all of the products on the store, you can come to this page and it'll walk you through. This is just so in case you have questions or want to look at what's out there, you can just search. Instead of being in your store, you can search all of the products through your back-end access and connect. There's a section down here for users and customers. If you want to add someone in your practice as a user to your store, you can do that. You simply click Add User, fill out the information, and save it. They would then get an email with login credentials similar to the one that you received when you first created your store. Generally, people add users if you have other practitioners as part of your clinic, or if you have a reception or some administrative support, sometimes they might want to be involved in sending recommendations and so forth. So that's where you can add and manage your users. If you want to delete someone, you just click manage and you can deactivate their access and so forth. So you have full control of who has access to your back end and to your store. There's a number of reports. The reseller payment deposit report is the key one. That's where you can see all of your commission deposits. There's a sales order report that would show all of the orders that have come through your store. And then lastly, there's this support option where you can access help files, talk to one of our technical team, send us a contact, us question. So there's lots of ways for you to get support. Anything you do through this support channel comes to Physio First. And then they make sure that it's directed to the right group for resolution. Any questions, Jackie?
No, happy to continue.
Great. So let's go into this recommendation thing real quickly. This is going to be the key thing that you do. So
Actually, Patrick, we have got one. Can you show again how to get to the Connect site, please?
Absolutely. I'll go to the store. So remember your public facing URL, the one that you need to remember. If you go to the footer of that store, you go to this, you click Connect Admin. And that would take you to Connect. Generally, it'll take you to a login screen where you'll authenticate and log in. Unless you're already logged in, then it'll take you straight to your Connect. Good question. All right, so let's go to patient recommendations. So this is something that you would typically do as part of your care plan. Generally, there's a fair amount of paperwork and notes and things that you pass to your patient along the way with some of their rehab instructions and things of that nature. If there's something that they're going to need, you can recommend a product. You simply connect or select recommend product, and it's a 4-step process. And it walks you through it pretty quickly. You can put in something to search for, to navigate. You can also go to search by category, and you'll see here, these are all of the same categories that are on the store. So if you know you want to send somebody a recommendation for a gym ball or mats or whatever the case, you could just go straight to that. If we use the search by product and I put in tape, it's going to bring up all of the tape related products. And so let's say in this case, I wanted to recommend some KT tape to someone. I just click select options. This brings up the product. It's going to tell you how much it's going to cost, including the VAT. You can pick the color if you're so inclined. Let's say we want black, and then you simply hit add. If that's the only thing that you're recommending to your patient, you just go to step 2, and it's going to show you here's the product that you put in their cart, and it's going to give you this cart URL. So this link here, you can see it contains the store number, the 1018. So that's how we know that it's your store. But this is an encrypted link. This is what will be sent to your patient. So when you make a recommendation, there's not going to be details about what you recommended in the email. It's going to be an encrypted link that they can click that will take them to their, essentially their checkout landing page on your store. So if you were so inclined and you just wanted to send someone this link, you can even just, copy the address and send it to them. In this case, you have the option, if you wanted to have the item shipped to your store, you would just hit ship to store right here, and it would be sent to you so you could pass it along or help your patient with it when they come in for their next visit. I'll take that off. So this looks good. I go to step 3, and this is the ability for you to kind of input a subject or a message related to the recommendation. We've pre-populated this so that you don't have to do anything. You can just say, yep, I'm okay. It says a recommendation for you, and here's your link. If you want to change it, you can just overtype it. And then down here in the bottom, in a lot of cases, as you'll recall, I mentioned that we don't collect patient data. And based upon feedback from the membership, they said, well, sometimes we need to remember who we sent this to. So you could put Patrick in there if you happen to use IDs for your patient, and I'm 101033. That's how you could put something in this recommendation so that when you looked at your history later, you would know who the patient was. But this is an optional field. So then I'm ready to go. And then it's simply, how do you want to share the recommendation? So you're going to have a number of options. You can share these through social media. You can share them through email. You can copy the recommendation. People use the copy feature. In a lot of cases, if you have a practice management system where you actually do house all of your patient information and their visit information, their care plans, things of that nature. And if you communicate with your patients through that practice management system, you could simply hit copy here, go to your practice management system, and paste it into your direct messaging app within your system. If I hit email, it's going to say, okay, it'll bring up my email platform. I simply paste it in there, and it's ready to go. So here's all that the person's going to get. Again, it's all encrypted and private. I will go to the email address there, and here it is, a recommendation for you. This is how it comes to your patient. They would get the email. When they click on the link from you, it's going to simply go to your store and take them directly to the checkout page. So this was the recommendation that you made. You had talked to them about it, whatever the case may be. And so that's what they get. They can check out right from here, and it goes through that same checkout process that we talked about before. They input their delivery information, they look at the shipping options, and make their payment. So it's very simple. The thought is that your patients shouldn't need to do a lot, and that if you've made a personal recommendation for a product, that they're very inclined to buy it. 82% of the recommendations that are sent result in a purchase. And that's because you guys are trusted sources, right? The patients react to these things not as though it was some random solicitation to buy products. It's a direct recommendation from someone they trust and have a relationship with. So you can imagine that in most cases, they're going to go ahead and buy things. Since they're in your store, if they happen to want to keep shopping or look around, all of the information for your store would be there, and they can buy additional products if they're so inclined. Going back to your Connect, you can see here's the recommendation history. So you can, at any point, see all the recommendations that you've made and the date. You can click on the detail for the recommendation. You have the ability here to resend it. Let's say someone says, I didn't get the email, or I didn't see it. You can simply go back to it and resend it. And then you can reuse it as well. If you are making the same recommendation, same product, we have people do this pretty frequently with some of the Pilates equipment. They're like, hey, I always recommend, this ball and this band or whatever the case may be. And so if you need to reuse it, you can just simply reuse it, and it takes you right back to that recommendation, and you can update it as you want and send it to someone different. So that's the process. Again, remember that you have this standardized store and storefront with your unique URL that your patients can access. You at the bottom have the ability to go into connect your admin. And then when you're in your admin, you have the ability to set up your store, update your information. You have the ability to make recommendations. You have the ability to manage users, see reports, and contact support. Those are the most widely used functions that are out there.
Patrick, we have a question. Are there T&Cs on the site that tell the customers that the clinic gets commission from any purchases?
There's nothing that tells them about the commission. No. On the store, you'll see there is security information, which simply takes them to the security policy that talks about how data is managed and all of those types of things and what it's used for. And then there's also a privacy page, which is very similar. It takes you to the privacy policy related to the store. But no, the commission part is not shared. It's no different than the rates you charge your customers. You don't tell them your profitability. Any other questions?
Nothing as yet.
Okay, great. Let me log out of this. Shut that down. Corporate store. Let me shut this down. Let me now go back to Physio First and the website. Let me log in. Again, this is the Physio First website that you all should have access to or get access to. I've logged in, so now they know I'm a member. If I go back to this benefits page where we started the whole meeting, there was the online e-store capability. And we went and we signed up and we showed you how to get your store set up, how to make recommendations, and how to utilize your store. And again, there's lots of additional details that we could get into, and we're happy to do that anytime with anyone. The only other piece that we wanted to cover quickly here is that as a member, the other thing that you have the ability to do, and this is unrelated to your dedicated store, Physio First has created a clinic consumables store. So there's a single store out there that has a bunch of products that physios would use in the conduct of their practice. And these are priced at wholesale prices because there's no commission associated with these. So there's this order clinic consumables direct. So even if you don't have a store of your own, as a member, you can always buy your clinic supplies. So if you just hit order direct, it's going to take you to the clinic supplies store. You'll see it's a little bit different in terms of the pod images and so forth, but it says, welcome to the clinic consumables store. You don't need to log in. You can check out as a guest, but you can do things around infection control, support devices, couch roll and accessories, things like that. So if you clicked on couch roll, you can go ahead and buy couch roll. You can look at this. You can select the options. I want a box of 9, right? It's going to tell you the price. I can add that to my cart. It'll take me, that's been added. I can go back to couch accessories. I can go to the other supplies. Let's say I want to do infection control. It's going to bring up all of the infection control items. Let's say I want to get some gloves. I can buy gloves. I can buy paper towels, trash bags. I can select the size here of the gloves. I want to get 3 boxes. I can add that to the cart. Oh. Now, here's an example. If the stock for a particular item isn't available, it'll tell them. So in this case, let's go to a different size. That size is available. I added those 3 items to my cart. So there's 5 in there. Once you're finished, you go to your shopping cart. This is just because of the way I'm logged in.
Patrick, I've got a question.
Yep.
If there are products that we frequently recommend to patients that are not in the e-store, is it possible for us to ask for them to be added?
So great question. We take direct feedback and input from the members all the time. And if there's a product that you cannot find on the store and you want to have us add, that's where you could send us a contact us. You could send an email to Donna or Jackie directly and say, I'd like to have a product added. What we would then do is we would reach out to our vendor group and ask if anybody has that. A good example, one of the things we added most recently were walking aids. And so we reached out to our vendors, said, hey, our membership wants to have walking aids, canes and things of that nature. And so they went out and procured those and we added them to the site. So absolutely, if there's something significant missing, we will do our best to have it added.
If you just email the info@physiofirst.org.uk, we can get that looked into for you.
Yep. So this, again, just to close out then, this clinic consumables piece, you can purchase anything that you want for your practice. These are at wholesale B2B pricing. There is no commission. And so the pricing has been scaled back to essentially cover the costs for Physio First. You'll also note that as a member, you probably get, let me go here to this, you'll see that flyers are sent out from Physio First on a fairly frequent basis. And when you get those emails, if you want to purchase some of these things for your clinic, it will take you directly there. So if I went to this walking stick thing, it's going to automatically open up.
Yeah, we've had a question in relation as well, Patrick. So can we set up access to the store for our clinic managers who do the ordering? I think the easiest method there would be for you to forward them the bulletin and then they can access the clinic store through that.
That's right. That's right. Yep. So if it's clinic supplies, they can go straight from the Physio First website. If they want to create their own credentials, they could do that, but otherwise they could use yours. I think that's what we see most people do. The goal here is to make sure that the folks that are buying clinic supplies at wholesale prices are members of Physio First. That's the only thing we're trying to monitor, and we do that by having people log in through the Physio First website. homepage here. All right, so are there other questions?
No, I think that's it, Patrick.
Yes. Well, that was as we say, drinking through a fire hydrant type of session. We covered a lot of different things. The big takeaway should be that you have access to a fully configured, bespoke e-commerce capability that is free, and you can expose that to your patients in any way you want. They're going to buy products typically as part of their care plan. And so if someone's going to purchase a knee brace, why not buy it from the store of their practitioner? And along the way, you guys have the opportunity to earn a commission. So they're going to buy it anyway. And so if it can come directly from you in the way of a recommendation, it just allows you to function as a more holistic, full service practice.
That's great.
Well, very good. Well, thank you. We appreciate everybody taking the time. We know it's precious. Again, if you need any additional help or support, we're all available at any time to walk you through this in more detail.
Thanks ever so much, Patrick.